I play Kelly FLIEHLER in the Miracle season. Kelly FLIEHLER was one of Caroline's best friends. They'd known each other since they were really little. Their families were all really close with each other. I mean, they essentially were sisters. And when Caroline passes, Kelly is sort of is given the role of setter on the team, which was Caroline's former role on the team, which is a really hard thing for her to do because while she knows that it's ultimately what Caroline would have wanted for her, I think that I think she kind of wrestles with the idea of taking over in a position that was always Caroline's and Caroline kind of defined. And also the setter on the volleyball team usually tends to be the captain. And that quality was not very innate to Kelly, but she's sort of forced to take on that role for Caroline. I think she feels that that's what Caroline would have wanted. I wanted it to be about shedding light on how amazing of a person Kelly is and how strong she is, as opposed to taking this out as an opportunity to be an actress in a performance. And sort of, I wanted it to be all about her in a way. And I think that initially, you know, she was really honest with me and she said, actually, it is kind of weird to have someone play me. Of course it would be in such an emotional story. And I think that as soon as I expressed major interest in getting to know her and being adamant about the fact that this was all about, you know, doing her story justice, doing Caroline's story justice, and just spreading the word on the legacy that Caroline left, I think she felt a bit more comfortable with it. Yeah, I've long admired William Hurt. It was really surreal to work with him. You know, the amazing thing about working with him is observing his technique because it's so immersive and it's so committed. And to be a young actor and be able to witness that and work opposite him was almost like you just learn so much from it. I just think that from the moment she arrived on set to the moment she left, she was on as the character. And I'm not saying that when you yelled cut, she would stay in character necessarily, but she just never, you know, these days when we were filming were really depleting because they were very physically demanding because it was a sports-driven movie. And she just never let it drop. She never did. She was so professional. For 3 weeks, we had really intense volleyball training and physical training because, you know, when you're a volleyball athlete, you also happen to be in really great shape, especially when you're in high school. So for 3 weeks, Danika and I trained, I think in total 5 days a week. 3 days were volleyball, I believe. Yeah, 3 days were volleyball, 2 days were just personal training so we could work on our conditioning skills. So 3 weeks leading up to going to Vancouver, and then 2 weeks in Vancouver with all the other girls that were cast in the movie every single day. I think it was 4 hours a day training for volleyball. It was really intense. I've never played a role like that in my life where I've been at the forefront of a team. That's never been a position of comfort for me as a human being. And that's another reason why it can be kind of an amazing thing to be an actress, because I thought, well, I got to make this work. And so I just thought, you have no choice because this story, the stakes are too high. You've got to do it justice. If Kelly was able to do this after losing her best friend, you can do this for the movie. And it was, as a personal experience, I learned a lot from it. I gained confidence from it. But I remember Sean calling me and saying, you know, you need to look at this evolution that the character has, and we need to know that you're going to be able to get to this point of leading this young group of women. And this is a strong group of women, you know, and to be at the forefront of them took a lot, but I had no choice. I just had no choice but to step up to it. And I don't know, it made a big impact personally as much as it did, you know, professionally. It was, I took a lot from the experience. I took more from the experience than I expected to.